What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk about things Marvel and MCU. Of course, I'm your host, Warren. Chris from Cosmic Culture here. We just got back from the Moon Knight world premiere / launch event, and it was really cool. It was really cool. Oscar Isaac was there, Ethan Hawke was there, everybody was there. It was a great experience, saw a lot of people, saw a lot of friends, but Moon Knight itself is very different. Now, I've kind of given you my reaction before, but if you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, you know that I just kind of moved across the country, or helped my brother move across the country, so I watched it on my phone. One episode on my phone, one episode on my iPad, and this was the first time kind of like truly being like fully involved in seeing the episode. So here are my like full thoughts, or not too much of a review, because we can't do that yet. That'll happen when the embargo lifts, but my initial thoughts. The supernatural side of the MCU, it really starts here. You could argue WandaVision kind of brought it in, because it brought in like Agatha Harkness, witches, like actual like spells and stuff like that. You could argue it kind of comes with that, with Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, but this is like true supernatural side. And this is a very, I don't want to say twisted, because it's not like so twisted, but it's a very different side of the MCU. Like, even with the like cinematography, the way they film certain things, like it's darker. You see some kind of camera shots that you don't really see in other MCU properties that we've seen so far. And overall, I actually really like kind of how dark and I'll say twisted. Because he's got multiple personalities. As we all know by now, he's got multiple personalities, and it does get kind of twisted, but it's really cool how they do it. Because it's not like in like a dark way that makes you want to turn away. It's a very interesting dark way that you're like, what is actually happening here? What is going on? We got our Moon Knight hats. These were the souvenirs for the premiere. It was really cool. We'll put some footage
somewhere in there.
Somewhere in this or in another video.
Well, exactly what you were saying though. Exactly what you were saying that you build off of, like, what is different about Moon Knight from anything else we've seen from Marvel, and it is kind of that mystery that draws you in.
Right.
Obviously, there's the supernatural origin story, and it doesn't. You want to keep watching.
Right.
You want it to last longer, and I think it's bringing us somewhere new in Marvel that's going to be pretty crazy overall.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the start of like a bigger side of the MCU that is going to like be like the Midnight Suns. Like, I think this is definitely starting something like that. That combined with Multiverse of Madness, since it's kind of supposed to be like a horror film, I think this is the start of a whole different side of the MCU that I honestly can't wait to see. Now, each episode's pretty long. I got sent the first 4 episodes, and they're all pretty much like an hour long, like 15 minutes to an hour long. And I'm excited about that, because I feel like this is one where they truly do need the time to go into things. Now, one thing I really like, just in general, no spoilers about the movie, but is like the whole like Egyptian gods thing. Like, because we've seen Khonshu in the trailers, and he's the god of the moon, and it's really cool when you dive into that, and it's really cool like the story that they give. Now, if you're a Moon Knight comic fan, I actually think you're really gonna like this. Sometimes with movies and comics, they completely kind of just go off the hinge with the story. Like, it's nothing compared to the comics. They just basically took a character, kind of took his general powers, and then put him in a movie. That happens sometimes, but that is not really what this is, at least what I've seen so far. This is pretty, in my opinion, it's fairly comic accurate. And the suit,
we got to see it in person.
Yeah, we saw the suit in person at the premiere.
Picture
here somewhere. We saw it in person, and it's really awesome
with
suit.
No CGI to it, really, except
for
like it really
right
put on.
When it comes on, that's CGI obviously, because he doesn't. Maybe he has the Egyptian god powers of the Khonshu, maybe, but no, it's really cool. It's probably one of the best MCU costumes that I've really ever seen.
It's clean.
It's very clean, and even the Mr. Knight one is like super cool. Visually, this I mentioned it like before. Visually, this show is shot differently, I think, and like obviously you have your normal stuff, but there's some scenes like when he's like running through the hallway, like they're just some shots that you've never seen Marvel do before, and you're like, this is pretty cool. Like this, it's cool that Marvel's going down this route. Now, what this tells me is Marvel's not afraid to take risks.
Yeah. I mean, we got that with WandaVision, too. Like,
Right.
that first Disney Plus series, it came out,
Right.
like, we look back at it with fond memories, but at the time, who knew what we were going to get with that?
Yeah.
And this is Moon Knight taking it another step forward.
Right. I think they have a lot lined up. Because they just confirmed, like, what if season 2 is going to be
This year.
Like, that's what, 4 or 5 episodes, Disney Plus shows, right? And then, so they're working over there at Marvel Studios, and I'm thinking we're going to get 4 or 5 a year from here on out. So it makes you think, like, how much do they really have over at Marvel? Because if you have 4 to 5 shows coming out each year, plus 3-4 movies coming out each year as well, they've got to have at least like 50 projects in the back burner right now that they're confirmed to be doing and are going to be working on pretty soon.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think the step with Moon Knight is really like approaching mental illness, approaching kind of like a craziness, because, you know, there's obviously parts where he thinks he's kind of going crazy, and he kind of is at the same time, because it's a lot to deal with, right? Like, dealing with the mental illness is a lot to deal with. And it really kind of jumps into that, and you truly do, like, experience him going, like, what is happening to me? Like, am I crazy?
They do a fantastic job kind of leading off the perspective of, is this real or not?
Right.
Because it doesn't leave the superhero storyline, right?
No.
It's not necessarily about mental illness, but
Right.
there is a really cool, like, am I actually experiencing this?
Well, and to that point, it's actually cool, because as an audience watcher, you're actually wondering, is it
How much
real?
is real? How much of this
Right.
is that?
Like, you question, like, is it actually real? Now, in the comics, that was like a thing for a very long time. They didn't actually confirm Khonshu was real till like way later on in the Moon Knight comics. So they're kind of doing that as well.
It's awesome homage.
Right. Again, no spoilers, but you're watching and you're like, is he crazy? Is it real? Like, what is actually happening? And it adds like a lot. It like really brings you in. There's a lot of things that like really, really bring you in. And Oscar Isaac is
Oscar Isaac and
fantastic.
Oscar Isaac and Oscar
Oscar
Isaac.
Isaac, Oscar Isaac, Oscar Isaac, Oscar. They're all fantastic.
All of them are great.
I think we're going a little crazy now. No, he and Ethan Hawke, like, everyone just really did a phenomenal job. Again, it's not a review, so we won't really dive into it, but giving them a lot of praise in this one. So I think Moon Knight is going to be a lot of people's new favorite show.
Absolutely.
Especially for, like, if you're looking for a more adult type show, right? I think really a lot of people, this is going to be a new favorite for it. I haven't seen the whole thing, so I can't say if it's beat Loki for me yet, but I definitely think it's a contender right now. So let us know how excited you are for Moon Knight. I think we have like a week left, and of course I'll be doing the watch parties again. Chris will be doing his watch parties on his channel as well. Then we'll be talking to each other after about them and talking with all of you. So be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on those, and let me know how excited you are for Moon Knight in the comments down below. As always, it's Chris.
Warren.
Woof woof.